Until 6 this morning, this is Radio Western, coming to you through CFPL FM 95.9 in London, Canada.
O nobly born, the time hath now come for thee to seek the path. Thy breathing is about to cease. Thy Guru hath set thee face to face before with the clear light. And now thou art about to experience it in its reality in the Bardo state, wherein all things are like the void and cloudless sky, and the naked, spotless intellect is like unto a transparent vacuum, without circumference or center. Well, if you came in the middle and were wondering just exactly what that was, that is an air check from a Radio Western program that I did about a year and a half ago. My name is Ian Davies, making this guest appearance on the last Radio Western show on Stereo 96. The music you heard was from Fleetwood Mac, Velvet Underground, Flying Burrito Brothers, Alice Cooper, and very interestingly, Charles Manson himself singing a bit of his philosophy towards the beginning of that tape, a record he made for ESP Disc, that crazy record company in New York. And Steppenwolf started us off. And thanks to the sound effects of Mr. Gassman, electronic music composition, and Georgi Ligeti. And before I leave you this morning, I'd like to mention some of the names out of the past of Radio Western, and maybe let you know just what they're up to right now. Al Pooley, who at one time was the music director and head announcer, he is returning to CFPL AM to do the all-night show after a year's stint in Belleville. He starts this Sunday night. Ken Ferguson, he was our production manager in the first year, and he's in Toronto now, working for a chemical company. Peter Reeser is a producer for a Kingston TV station. Steve Baker, our old manager, just completed his university degree this year and is setting up his own advertising agency. Ray Moore, our former business manager, is long lost. Mike Colton is touring the world, trying to figure things out for himself. Tom Leparskis has just got a job in Montreal for a Rock FM station. Dave Graber is still gracing the halls of the UCC. Lino Siena, second-year business manager, has moved on to Toronto. Judy Ryan, secretary, unknown, is what she's doing now. Debbie Hall is a computer programmer in Montreal, and she was our ad manager 1 year ago. David Hay is studying law at Windsor, and he was our production manager last year. John Ailing has his own stereo business right here in town. Our former engineer, Rick DeMarto, is a wanderer. He was our news director at one time. Alex Whitelaw, also a news director, is happily married and going to school part-time. Jody Orr is becoming quite successful as a folk singer, and he used to do a folk show about a year ago. Craig Hartford is still studying at Western, and Kathy Gridley is moving on to Toronto very shortly. Those are just a few of the names out of the past of Radio Western. I think some of them might have been familiar to you. Others, I think, deserve a mention, even though they weren't maybe recognizable to you out there. And I'd like to thank you for your time this morning, and I hope you enjoyed my portion of the show, and I hope you'll stay tuned for whoever else we have coming up. Good morning, and it's been nice to be with you.
Thank you, Ian. I'm sure many of your old listeners enjoyed that set that you put together a while back on Radio Western, something that's been around for a long time. Well, I see that we're already about 15 or 20 minutes behind schedule, so we may not be able to squeeze a couple of people in. Unfortunately, I'll be unable to play any requests, so for those of you that I said maybe, I'm sorry. However, we have some great music. And next, is Kieth Wilson, a fellow that you've never heard on FM, but has done a pretty reasonable campus show the past several weeks, and was with Radio Western a year ago as well. In just about 1 minute.
Stereo 96, CFPL FM, London, Canada.
Good morning. My name is Kieth Wilson, and I'm not really in the studio right now. This is all on tape. Really, I don't exist at all. I am just a tape. Or a voice through a microphone, or your speakers, or whatever. Anyways, for the final show, I've been asked to say a few words about Radio Western. Positive, of course, since John has got a gun in my back right now. Okay, John? But anyways, I'd just like to say that I'm grateful to Radio Western for what it has taught me over the last 2 years. Music-wise, that is. You know, without the station, what I know about music right now would be nothing. And anyways, for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to play a few songs which are personal favorites of mine that I found at Radio Western I probably otherwise would have missed or avoided or whatever. And I like them a lot, and I hope you do too.